have so much to talk about today. It's one of the topics that I've been wanting to dive into for a long time. I have finally been able to put pen to paper, write down my thoughts and notes on it so we could talk about it today. So hope you'll stick with me because I think that this is a highly informative session that you don't want to miss. So for those that are new, hi, I am Melissa. This is my weight loss journey. I've been on GLP-1s since February 2024. Today is July 8th, I had to think for a minute, 2025, and I have lost 70 pounds so far. So I do have another video about my story, and we'll make an updated video on my story later, but I want to get into these things to talk about because especially when you are new to GLP-1s, you're thinking about GLP-1s, or you are just starting those GLP-1s. And actually there's some good information and suggestions in here if you have and are on GLP-1s currently. So I hope you'll stick around and find some of this information helpful. So when we are starting our GLP-1s, one of the most important things you want to do is you want to weigh for data. I know weighing is one of those things that we all hate to do. It's nerve-wracking. It messes with our head. It, in a way, messes with our self-confidence and our self-esteem because that number on the scale is how we think of ourselves. And that's just not true. But right now, that's what you're seeing. You want to weigh, like I said, for the data. What I did when I first started my journey is I weighed every day. Eventually, that became really obsessive for me. I'm one of those people that I feel like the weight defines you because, that's what the doctors have always said, right? Is that our weight is, part of a bigger part of who we are in the medical field, what things are determined and based on. And, it's the biggest thing that people always see is our weight, right? You want to weigh for the data to know your starting point. In the first month or so, I especially like to weigh every day to see what day I weigh the lowest. For example, I take my shot on Tuesdays. I am usually the lowest weight on Friday and or Saturday. After that, if I weigh in on shot day, I am the heaviest because that is when your GLP-1 has a half-life dose. And usually about day 5 is when you get that half-life dose where it's not as effective. You are a little bit hungrier. You're thinking about food a little bit more. Excuse me. And it's not, you're like, oh my God, it's, I'm eating everything. It's normal. It's totally normal, okay? So weigh for data, not for any other significant thing to do with who you are as a person. I also, when I weigh in, if I do a shot that day, I track the shot, how many units I was given, and how many milliliters or milligrams that you're on. So I like to do that for myself so I can look back and see what dosage I was at where. And I also, in that same weigh-in data, I put where I gave my shot. So if it was my left arm, I would put like an L for left and I would put A for arm. For belly apron, I put a BA. So just doing those things kind of helps me and has helped a lot of other people determine where things were most effective. Rotate your shots. Another important thing, rotate your shots. You will start to see, and I know people say it doesn't matter, it could just be in your head, but I have noticed, and many other YouTube creators have noticed, more effectiveness in certain parts of where they inject. It used to be my arms. Now it's kind of my stomach. Then it used to be the stomach. And then it was, my arm again. So just track where you're going. Mark if that week was effective or not, how you felt. Just kind of use it as your own personal data set, right? You don't have to put a lot, not asking for a lot of time into it, just a couple of minutes and boom, you're done, okay? You also want to give your body time to absorb the medicine and let it work. And what I mean by that is every person is different and we all have different body chemistries. So one person may lose really quick and feel the medicine, really quickly from that first week. Other people, it could be weeks before they can tell a difference. I do have a friend that I met recently through the Facebook world, and it took her, I believe, 4 to 5 weeks to finally start to tell that difference. And she had to titrate up to the 5 milligram to start to have the benefits. Another friend started around her same time as this friend, and she felt the effects immediately. Felt the food suppression, felt the food noise go away. She felt it all. So every person is different. That doesn't mean that it's not working. It means that your body needs time to adjust and absorb. And they usually say, I think it is 4 weeks for the medicine to start fully taking effect in your body. So I know that we're all in a hurry to get this weight off, right? We are all excited. We're in that honeymoon phase, but we have to remember we can't rush this because it's too important. We've been down this road 1,000 times before with whatever diet. We cannot rush this. And you're paying the money for it. So you definitely don't want to rush anything. If you rush, you also could get a lot more side effects than you normally would. So keep those things in mind. So I talked about each dose point needs ample time to show effectiveness, and that is true. I think I started feeling suppression pretty quickly on mine. The food noise was instantly gone for me, just instantly. And when I talk about food noise, for those who do not experience it or, have never known what it's like, there's a lot of noise in your head. It's almost like there's constant chatter in your head about food. What type of food, what kind of food, what time you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, how much you're going to have, things you're looking forward to. You can't wait to eat that food. There's a lot of things going on in that brain that don't stop, and you don't realize you have that food noise until it's gone. And it is an amazing feeling. So if you're not there yet, hang tight because you're in for a treat. Some people also respond better to the half doses than they do the whole number. And some people respond better to the whole number doses than the half. Me personally, I have responded better to the half doses. So 2.5, 7.5, 12.5 have all been really good for me. Other people, they are on that solid number dose, the whole number, and it is working perfectly. You are going to figure out what works for you and what is best for you as you go through this journey. Just keep documenting your stuff. Keep tracking your numbers and effectiveness and your dosages so you can know and understand for yourself and for other people that may be interested in your journey. Another thing is when you start out and, through the lifetime of your GLP-1 journey, which most of us know it's forever for us, but you don't want to titrate up too quickly. And what I mean by titrate is go up in dose. Some people do not feel the effectiveness the first 4 weeks. of their medicine. Like I said, it doesn't mean your dose isn't working. It just, you have to give your body more time. I have stayed on my doses as long as I have lost weight and as long as my hunger is pretty much suppressed or controllable and the food noise is gone. If I hit weight plateaus, which you will hit weight plateaus, and by plateau, I mean 3 to 4 weeks or longer, where you are stalled, your weight is not budging, or you're bouncing around the same 2 to 4 pounds. It happens. You have to keep going. That's happened to me quite often, and it is disappointing. And you feel like you want to give up, and you question what's wrong, and you immediately want to go up in dose that first week or two. I've always been told you want to give it as much time as you can, and after a 3 to 4 week stall is when you want to go up. So I know a lot of the guidance from Lily, and I'm not sure about Novo, is every 4 weeks you go up in dose. If you look at a lot of the history of people just going up every 4 weeks, for one, you're going to maximize, you're going to bottom out on your dose pretty quick, right? The highest dose. You want to ride these doses out, not go up so quick. 2, you are going to experience more side effects than people who are stretching out those doses, because your body is not having time to adjust to that medication before it switches to the new one. So I'll talk about side effects in a minute. Another thing to remember when you are in this journey is it is not a race. And it's really hard to realize that. And I just talked about that in my last video. If you haven't watched it, there is a lot of great information in there. I highly suggest you try to watch it. It is the July 4th episode. It's human nature for us to want quick and fast results. Think about how we live. Everything is quick. We get things in a drop of a hat. Order on Amazon, sometimes you get a same day arrival time, someday it's a 1 to 2 day. Mobile ordering, you're getting it instantly. ATM, you're getting your money out lickety split. You're getting things very quickly in our society, and this is not one of those things that you're going to have quickly. And in the July 4th video, I also talk about comparison, and I know that that's a hard thing as well, not to compare yourself to other people's journey, but you have to remember this is your own journey. And like I said earlier, everybody's body chemistry is different. So with that being said, during this time, you also want to measure those non-scale results. Clothes that are more loose, not needing a seatbelt extender, reaching for better foods automatically. You're like, oh my God, I just reached for that. And I was very impartial to this that I always wanted. That you want to exercise, that you're walking a little bit further than you used to, or your knees aren't hurting as much when you go up the stairs. Those are things that are measurable to get you through those times and weeks that you're really struggling. Crossing your legs. I mean, some people that is not a big deal, but for us, it's a huge deal. To be able to cross your legs, that's fantastic. So think about those non-scale goals. Think about those wins, those results, because that is a win. And you want to celebrate those things. Every little thing you want to celebrate. Not with food though. You don't celebrate with food because that is totally counterintuitive. So you also want to expect the unexpected. Your tastes are going to change. Animal crackers to me now taste like cardboard. Things you used to reach for snack-wise, bag of Cheez-Its, taste horrible to me. A lot of the sweets are just going to be awful. they're gonna either be too sweet or they have this weird taste you can't explain. And you're just like, ooh, no, I've had a bite, I'm done. Things might be too salty. I've had things recently. We were at a seafood restaurant this past weekend, and we had some mushrooms come to the table, and it was a fried mushroom, and I had one, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is just super salty. So you're aware more as you go through this journey with your GLP-1 of different things like that. It's kind of interesting. Your preferences will change. I used to start out at Coke Zero when I started this journey, and now I'm on Diet Pepsi. I also went through Diet Coke for a little bit, and that was really great until I switched to Diet Pepsi. Those tasted flat to me after a while, which is crazy, but your GLP-1 is going to work really differently than you might expect. So foods will become unimportant to you as well. And I think that was one of the things that really struck me hard, was my indifference to food. I didn't care that there was a box of cookies sitting on the counter. I passed it up so many times in a day and didn't even realize it. And then I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, there was a box of cookies there for 5 days, and I not once thought about it. I didn't go upstairs thinking later on that night, if I just went down and had a cookie, nobody would know. Or I could sneak a cookie in over here. Just one cookie. If you're that hard up and you are thinking about the cookie, have a cookie. I do talk about that in some of my previous videos. Don't deprive yourself on this journey. You're not going crazy, but don't deprive yourself, because it's better to take a couple of bites of that cookie and then you're like, okay, I'm done, I'm satisfied with it, than to deprive yourself and then you go into a binge. Side effects. Side effects are going to happen, but they're only temporary, so don't forget that. Some people quit when they get those side effects, and some people will get more nausea than other people do. Some people are going to get more constipation than other people do. It happens. It's temporary. Keep going. Keep pushing through it. For constipation, you could try Mag07. A lot of people swear by that. Miralax, milk and magnesia helps. Fiber gummies, fiber supplements really help if you are constipated, which does happen quite often, especially when you up your protein intake. Sometimes you may even feel like this rock hard feeling in the bottom of your stomach, and that is constipation. So keep those things in mind and try not to wait too long on those constipation rescues, because you're gonna need those. For nausea, Preggy Pops, Ginger Chews, Nausine over the counter, things that help with nausea. You can ask the doctor for some Zofran if you need to. Those give headaches to people, so I would be very cautious about using those unless you're severely nauseous and nothing else is helping. One thing that did help me with my nausea, believe it or not, was carbonated drinks. I tried Sprite. It didn't taste very good. So that's when I went to Coke Zero, and it was great. And I was like, this is a lifesaver. I would drink 1 or 2 of those a day, and it kept my nausea gone. So find what works for you and do that. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep this with me because I always need to hydrate. I never hydrate enough. So this is my reminder right here in the crook of my arm to hydrate. Another thing to remember, oh, wait, before I go on to the next thing, with the side effects, one other thing you can do is electrolytes. Everybody has an opinion on what kind of electrolytes to get, okay? Some, again, are gonna taste different to you than they used to. Try out a few different ones. Look to people that have been on this journey, ask them what they do, what has worked for them. Some people do liquid IV, some people just do like Gatorade or what is it, Propel water. Element has been my go-to and my lifesaver, and even just one bottle a day, and I'm just talking about the packet that goes in like the 16-ounce bottle of water, has tremendously helped me. It has sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and that does help. Even if I get a headache now, I will go and get one of my electrolyte element packs, put it in some water, and usually my headache is gone. So I keep those with me. Excuse me. And most people do keep those drops with them, or the little packets, but just try a few out, see what works for you. Go to the local store. Now, I will say Element, if you are looking for Element, if you order on the website, yes, they are expensive. I do believe in the product itself. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. They are not giving me anything to talk about this. It's just my experience. They are the ones that I have felt, to me, taste the best for me and have given me the most benefits. If you go to a supplement store, I don't know if GNC sells it. I haven't been to a GNC store for a long time, but Vitamin Shop is a nutrition, wellness, sports nutrition place. They carry sticks to try. They also have the sparkling water drinks for Element. Those are pretty good too, but I just prefer the water with the packet. Another thing to remember when you're on your GLP-1s is you have to eat. You have to, even when you don't feel like it. And I have been guilty of this. I still sometimes am guilty of this. We have to eat. And you'll hear a lot of people say, eat small snacks a day. Don't have meals, just small snacks. It could be a string of low skim mozzarella cheese. It could be, a piece of, a couple pieces of strawberry. You have to eat something. If you don't, you are going to get that nausea, and your body is actually going to go into that starvation mode, but I'm not going to preach on that. I just wanted to mention, make sure that you're eating, even when you don't feel like it. And trust me, I know when you don't feel like it, it is hard, because nothing sounds good and you get the major food ick and you don't know what to do. Try to go for some blueberries, if nothing else. Strawberries, raspberries, anything berry is good in fiber and also good for you. It doesn't turn into just plain sugar. It also has a lot of other health benefits, and those are our superfoods. Another thing you're gonna wanna do, and this is really important, so I'm gonna take a drink before I start. You want to ask for support. On your GLP-1 journey, you are putting in all this money. Whether you're getting your medication compound directly from the manufacturer, doesn't matter. You're putting in all this time, effort, and money. You need to seek the help of a mental health professional that can help you with food and addiction, because we are all addicted to food. They can help with food behavior. They can help with your relationship to food. They can help you understand why food has such a hold on you, and give you different techniques to use to try to break that cycle. And I discovered, and I think I've touched on this in one of my videos, and I actually will be doing another video soon on my story, more in depth. But for me, I realized, due to a trauma that I had in my childhood, I used food to become invisible, because I didn't want attraction from anybody. I didn't want any attention, male, female, it didn't matter. And I just came to that realization last year with the help of my therapist. And I know there is such a stigma around mental health. Something's wrong with you if you need therapy. There's something wrong with you if you're on a medication. There is nothing wrong with you. Society today is anxiety ridden, and full of stress and BS. Plain and simple. And sometimes some people need that extra help and support, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. Somebody tells you any differently, come see me. I used food to make me big, to keep me out of spotlights and getting attention from people I did not want attention from. I decided that I needed to be invisible to everybody in my life. People at school, my friends and family, because I didn't know who I could trust. Sorry, guys. It's not shameful to ask for help, okay? It's not shameful to ask for help. It's actually freeing, believe it or not, to purge all of that BS out of your system. To talk about why you have let food have such a power over you that you never realized. Was it trauma? Was it scarcity? Maybe you didn't have access to a lot of food and you hoarded food. You stuck food everywhere. You have that scarcity mindset. You're afraid of running out. I've been there. And sometimes I still am. I fight it every day. It's like a natural thing for me. It's ingrained so deep that I've got to have my extra stuff laying around. My protein snacks, I can have 2 weeks worth left. And I'm like, oh, I gotta order more. And there's people out there like that, just me included, that do that. It's a food scarcity thing. But getting to the root of why we let food take over is really important on this journey. If you cannot talk to a mental health professional, you can start out by talking to a friend that understands who you are and could give you honest advice. That is a good starting point until you feel comfortable talking to a mental health professional. Or you could ask your support person, friend, whoever, to attend those meetings at first with you if you're scared to take that leap by yourself. And now, honestly, there are a lot of virtual mental health therapists that no one has to know that you're talking to someone. It could be just you that knows. So you don't have to feel shame. I don't know where the shame comes from with us needing mental help. I am a big advocate of mental help, especially with GLP-1s. growtherapy.com offers a lot of resources and a lot of people near you that you can filter on for what you're looking for. If you're more comfortable with a female or a male, you can select that. You can put the different things that you want them to talk about. You know, if you're looking for someone that talks about obesity and food behavior, child abuse, alcoholism, things like that, you can select those different things and they will put providers in front of your face that you can look at, read their bio, read reviews from, and try them out. And it's virtual. That's how I met mine. And I am so thankful for her because we covered so much in so little time. And I was seeing a therapist for over 20 years and never got to a fourth of what I've gotten through with my new therapist. pick the right therapist. And if you are, you know, using someone and they're just not a right fit, or you're feeling like they don't understand, either ask them, or if you don't want to ask them, find somebody else. Okay? Because you have to work on all aspects holistically of yourself while going on this journey. And the GLP-1s do help you. They make you want to do it, believe it or not. So another topic, I'm switching over here on my notebook, is you may be fighting against other comorbidities. And that's a big one, right? We all have something that we're fighting against, and maybe it's not been discussed. And I think I've touched on a few of mine in some of my videos, but you know, just a few that maybe you're struggling with is sleep apnea, insulin resistance, fatty liver, whether it's non-alcoholic or alcoholic, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetic, kidney disease, autoimmunes, chronic neuropathy, or some kind of chronic pain, you know, fibromyalgia. There's all different kinds of comorbidities that a lot of us are struggling with. And, you know, those are with you on this journey. And sometimes you can walk. Sometimes if you have chronic neuropathy in a lot of different parts of your body, it's really hard for you to get out there and walk. You take what you can, you do what you can, and you keep going. So something really important I do want to talk about is you aren't your disease, and you aren't your comorbidities. And that's a hard one for us. I think obesity has been confirmed that it's a disease by the American Medical Association, I think it is. One of those associations, sorry guys. Obesity is now classified as a disease. It's not like a cold. It's something long-standing. And you have to remember that you are an amazing person who was made to do great things. Aside all the comorbidities and issues and health things that you may have going on, you are made to do incredible, wonderful things, and you're going to. And this GLP-1 is the first step. This medication gives you more clarity and focus and being more assertive to do things that you probably never thought that you would do. I feel like I've had like an underlying strength with this that I didn't recognize I had. It gives me more confidence in a way to speak up about obesity. It's given me more confidence to talk about my journey and to be open on YouTube with thousands of people I don't even know and talk about very deep parts of my life and my fears and struggles. It gives you a different outlook and gives you the control that you've been lacking for so many years. And it gives you the clarity to focus on what you can do and not what you can't do. So another topic, I know we're going heavy here, but this is all honest conversation, and I really want, if you are watching and thinking about a GLP-1 or starting out, or you know, just need a kick in the pants about something, that you really hear all of this and take it to heart and digest it, because it's really important. And I wish I could have heard all of this when I started. And there is some different things I've learned, and we'll talk about that. But this topic, I want to say, is you need to educate. You want to educate yourself and be informed, because nobody is going to do it for you. Our providers that we have here in like America, I don't know how it is in other countries, are not informed on obesity. Most are PCPs that we are talking to using this medication. They've taken a very basic, small portion of some classes, but they are not in obesity medicine. You have to be informed for yourself so you can make the right decisions on your journey and be more confident in your journey. Because this is your journey. This is your moment. This is you taking care of you, you being the superstar, the confident person that you've always wanted to be but never been able to do. This is your moment. You want to learn what is sound advice. So if you join multiple Facebook groups, you are going to quickly learn this is BS, or a lot of people are saying this or something similar. So I'm going to keep that in mind for later. I watch so many people on this journey before me, so I had a sense of what to expect, because I was given a script for my GLP-1 and sent on my merry way. No guidance on nutrition, goals, things to focus on, nothing. So I watched a lot of YouTube. And if a lot of people expressed something, I knew that I needed to remember that just in case it happened to me. You cannot take just one person's word for things, because some people out there, especially if it is on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, right? That sometimes they will say some really crazy things. They've either not been on this journey or they're totally off the wall, and you know, they've got a whole other pot going on over there that we don't want any part of. Okay. I wanted to give you some helpful YouTube creators that I used and found so helpful. And, you know, I just started like from the bottom, like from their first weight loss journey video, and worked my way up. And it was really informative because while I was in the beginning stages of my GLP-1 journey, they had been on theirs for a long time. So a few that you can go to besides mine, because it's always been my hope and purpose when making these videos to be informative and helpful, but also supportive, because I know that there's not as much support out there as there needs to be for people who are struggling with the obesity disease and who are struggling to get healthy. So besides my channel, Brittany Rose, GLP-1, she is one of my favorite people. She is the one person that I went to constantly on my journey every day to see if she had a new video out. She is so down to earth and very informed in what she's doing. She's very honest, like I am. She is my one go-to, absolute one go-to. If you don't pick any others, go to Brittany. Sunshine Storyline. Cheryl is an amazing person, and her channel has also been such a wealth of information. She's very honest also, and you know, highlights when she has struggles. And I think that that's important when we have our struggles, that we don't hide from it, because there are people going through this that may be having that struggle or about to have that struggle, and just letting them know that they're not alone. The Downsized. Christopher and Lorraine are amazing people. They are such a great couple. They are married and started this weight loss journey together. They are another great resource to look at their previous videos, look how far they've come. They have blown it out of the water. And now they also provide not only their updates, but they also break down a lot of information going on in the GLP-1 and weight loss and obesity world. and report it out and discuss it. So that's another channel to really get informed on what's going on, but also two wonderful people that, you know, had a journey and started it together. On the Pen is another one, Dave Knapp. He is another person that he's just really gifted in retelling a story in a way that you can understand it and digest it. And he takes patient-centric information or information that is related to us, regurgitates it out in such a way that keeps us well informed that we can take back to our healthcare people and let them know. But it's also helping you make informed decisions. And it's helped me a lot listening to Christopher and Lorraine and Dave to know what is happening in the GLP-1 world when I don't have time to do it or I want further insight. It's also helped me to inform my actual PCP, believe it or not, of things that she doesn't even know about. And it's also helped me guide other people that have reached out to me to offer support. So those two are really great with their information. 3 other channels, and I'll be real quick on these. Mindy Peterson, but her last name is Pedersen. Her and Brittany were the two that I first started out with at the very beginning, and then I went to the downsized after and on the Pen. But Mindy is very honest in her journey, and I really appreciated that. And if you go watch her stuff, you'll understand why. Anchor Moments and then Healthy at Any Cost are another 2 great resources if you are looking for more helpful YouTube creators that have been on this journey that will be honest about what they have been through, how things are going, what they've learned, and different tips and tricks that they've experienced. I say, you know, listen to their stories and updates because you deserve to be informed about this. It's your journey, it's your health, your body. You want to know what's going on in the industry. You want to keep informed to make the best decisions possible. So this is your life and you want to be as healthy as possible. So why not be informed and educate yourself along the way? No one is going to walk in your shoes but you. Doctors aren't going to provide the necessary information and support and answers because they don't have it. And that's what I talked about a few minutes ago and led into the YouTube creator names for you to go check out because they are not informed at all. You can seek an obesity medicine specialist to talk to and consult with, absolutely. But most people are just going to stick with their doctor. And that's okay, but you can be more informed than they are. And trust me, I am well more informed than my doctor is right now. So you owe it to yourself to do that. It's important along your way, so you know what's happening and what could happen with your life. That kind of goes into you have to put in the work, and that means taking your shot. Take your shot every week, no matter what. You got a party going on, take your shot. Holiday, vacation, take your shot. You don't skip a shot to indulge in things. That right there is behavior work that you need to work on. If you are wanting to skip a shot for any holiday, vacation, party, you've got to work on it. You got to work on it, sister or brother, because there's still something there that you're looking forward to that you've not addressed yet relationship-wise with food. You can go to a party or vacation and still have what you want. I've been there. I've been to Punta Cana on this medication. I've, been to many trips. I've had many parties, cookouts. You can still have things. Your medicine is going to help you keep it in moderation. Your medication is going to help you know when you're full. Your medication is going to help keep you balanced to where you are not overindulging. Trust me, once you overindulge, you will not forget it and you will listen more to your body. I promise you, speaking from experience. You need the shot. If you do not take the shot for a week because of a party, vacation, whatever, you're doing a disservice to yourself because you are working hard and putting in all those steps to get healthy. Why would you stop for 1 week? You really have to ask yourself that. Why? Why would you stop? Why would you stop to eat that cake? Is it that important? You can have alcohol on this medication. You're going to drink more responsibly on this medication. Trust me, many people will tell you that. And you're going to feel the effects a lot quicker. There's nothing you can't have on this medicine, okay? Like I said earlier, we don't deprive ourselves because depriving yourself is going to get you in trouble. If you have a procedure coming up, like I do, I have an eye surgery coming up tomorrow on my left eye. 2 weeks ago, I had my right eye done. I had to be off the medication for 8 days. No big deal because the next day I went on it again. So I missed 1 day. I take my shot every 7 days, like clockwork, same day on every week. So I had to take it 1 day later and later in the day. No big deal. Get back on the shot. Don't use your shot as an excuse. That's behavior work. That means you need to work on your behavior and why you're wanting to do that. What are you hoping to get out of not taking that shot? And you need to be honest. You have to have honest conversations with yourself. If you don't have an honest conversation with anybody else on your journey, have an honest conversation with yourself. It is so important, guys. It is so important. I sometimes hate that I have to be honest with myself, but I've put in so much work and effort. I don't deserve anything less than to be honest. You want to take the steps and have the faith to do this because you're worth it. You're absolutely worth it. And I say that time and time again, but it is so true. You're worth it. And why not be honest with yourself and put in that work by given this amazing opportunity while this GLP-1 is helping you. So I know this video is long. Thank you for sticking with me if you've made it this far. I appreciate it. I hope that this helped. I hope that this is informative, that you took something away from it. I would love any comments, questions, concerns you have. Please drop them down in the comment box below. Don't forget that this is your time. This is your time to be the best you possible. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you have an awesome day. I hope that this is helpful, that you take something from it, that you share it with someone else that may be thinking about it or going through this journey. Reach out to me if you just need that extra support. I've been there. Support is a huge, huge part of your GLP-1 journey, I feel like. And Brittany has a free support group I will put in the description box below. So if you'd like to join that free group, make sure you answer. There's 3 easy questions. Make sure you answer those and we will let you in. I am an administrator on Brittany's group. She is one of my closest friends now. We started just connecting because I reached out to her from YouTube. And she is one of the best people I know. I I love her to pieces. So if you need extra support but don't want to reach out professionally yet, join a free, good support group and be free to talk about it, because there are a lot of people that are going through that journey, and nothing is embarrassing or off topic because we have all been there, trust me. So take care, everyone. I will see you next time. I appreciate every single one of you, and we'll talk soon.